Thank you for considering DNA Solutions for your immigration DNA testing needs. DNA Solutions is an AABB accredited DNA testing facility with 20 years of experience testing DNA samples for immigration purposes. Immigration DNA testing can be used as proof of a biological relationship for paternity, maternity, siblings, or grandparents. DNA testing can sometimes be listed as voluntary. The turnaround time for a case is dependent on outside parties such as the U.S. Embassy. The length of time it takes to complete a DNA test may exceed that of your deadline. Please consider this when starting your DNA case. In order to initiate an immigration DNA test with DNA Solutions, you must first have paperwork from a USCIS or U.S. Embassy office requesting DNA testing. Once you have this paperwork, DNA Solutions will issue you a quote via email. The immigration contact form will need to be completed for each person that needs to be tested. The petitioner or U.S. citizen will provide their contact information on the top of this form. The bottom of the form will be completed for each beneficiary. If you have more than one beneficiary, please complete separate forms for each person to be tested. It is important that you list a current address, phone number, and email address. Without proper information, our facility may have a difficult time reaching you with updates regarding your case. An email address is required for both the petitioner and beneficiary, as this will be the main source of communication from both the U.S. Embassy and our laboratory. You are encouraged to check your spam folder regularly to ensure you do not miss any important emails. The immigration terms and conditions are required and will need to be signed and returned prior to starting your case. It is important that you read through these terms and conditions and keep a copy of them for your records. The credit card authorization form is provided to assist with the payment for your case. If you would prefer not to pay with credit card, you can issue a money order to DNA Solutions. Your case will not be started until full payment has been received. After DNA Solutions receives your completed forms and a copy of your immigration paperwork, we will start your case. Please allow 3 business days for our office to respond to your submission. A DNA collection appointment will be scheduled in the U.S. for the petitioner at a site closest to the address provided on the contact sheet. DNA Solutions cannot guarantee how close a site will be to your address. Some locations may be over 60 miles from your home. If you are unable to travel, you may request a mobile collection. However, additional fees will apply. After the petitioner's appointment is scheduled, a DNA collection kit will be created and shipped internationally to the U.S. Embassy closest to the beneficiary's address provided on the contact sheet. For USCIS cases, the beneficiary can indicate which U.S. Embassy or consulate office they prefer. However, if paperwork is received from a specific U.S. Embassy, the beneficiary will be required to be collected at that embassy address. Mobile collections are prohibited overseas as collections must be performed at the U.S. Embassy under AABB regulations. Upon completion of these items, DNA Solutions will provide you with an email that includes collection instructions, a payment receipt, and the tracking number for your international shipment. You are encouraged to provide a copy of this email along with your payment receipt to the USCIS office as proof you started a DNA case with DNA Solutions. If you fail to respond to the USCIS office with your receipt, your case could be at risk for denial. Once you receive this email, DNA Solutions will place your case on hold pending receipt of the samples from both the petitioner in the U.S. and the beneficiary outside of the U.S. Remember, all international collections will take place at the U.S. Embassy closest to the beneficiary. The U.S. Embassy will contact the petitioner and beneficiary directly via email or phone to schedule a collection appointment. Any collection fees charged at the U.S. Embassy are not associated with DNA Solutions. DNA Solutions cannot contact the U.S. Embassy and schedule an appointment on your behalf. You can use the tracking number provided to track the DNA collection kit and confirm its arrival at the U.S. Embassy. After its arrival, if you do not receive an email or phone call from the U.S. Embassy, you are encouraged to contact them to schedule your appointment. Please be sure to regularly check the U.S. Embassy's direct website for updates, closures, or delays occurring at their facility. Upon receiving all necessary samples, DNA Solutions will complete the testing within 5 business days. The results will be issued directly to the petitioner, the U.S. Embassy, and the USCIS office listed on your paperwork. Once a case is completed, results will be sent directly to the USCIS office from our laboratory via FedEx. A tracking number for these results will be emailed to you along with an electronic copy of your results. Submitted DNA testing does not guarantee approval of your application. DNA Solutions will not be held accountable for decisions made in part by the USCIS or U.S. Embassy office. DNA Solutions offers a free status letter to clients whose deadlines are quickly approaching. The status letter is provided directly to the petitioner via email. It is the responsibility of the petitioner to provide a copy of this letter to the USCIS office handling their case. This letter is an additional resource used to provide proof that a DNA case has been started with DNA Solutions and that an extension on your deadline may be needed if a U.S. Embassy is behind on DNA collections. If you would like a more formal request for an extension to your deadline, DNA Solutions offers a $50 extension letter. The letter is issued directly to the USCIS office from our laboratory, requesting an extension be provided so that we may complete the DNA testing. Although we cannot guarantee an extension will be provided, we have had great response from past letters. DNA Solutions is a DNA testing laboratory. Although we have years of experience, we are limited to what we can do. If you are seeking extensive guidance, we recommend contacting an immigration attorney. For questions regarding your DNA case, please email immigration@dnasolutionsUSA.com or call our toll-free customer service number at 866-362-9778.